Thanks for a wonderful auspicious beginning for our Agile Coach Summit 2023. So we have our keynote speaker, Erich from Enterprise Agility Community. So Erich, over to you.
Okay, let me just, there you are. I cannot yet switch the camera, but let me see what I can do. So hello, very good morning for me. I think it's around 5 something in India. So welcome everyone, and I hope you are having a great time. And one of the things I wanted to, well, there are many things I wanted to talk about, several things today, and making sure you understand where we are. How are you doing today? Yeah, good. Excellent. So we're going to be talking today about well, at least I wanted to talk about the future of agility. And this is something very important because people have been speculated for a long time where we are, what we can do, and how we can make sure that we understand where the future of organizations and agile is. And let me just go for, you're going to be able to see the screen, and then also I will be sharing with you a barcode there that you can use to download the book on the right hand side. And one of the things we need to understand when we are talking about agility is that there are at the moment a situation which is that the markets are accelerated. So I wanted to just try to explain to you what the acceleration of the market is, and also try for you to understand where we are in terms of models and frameworks, and try to speculate a little bit more on the future of agility and how we see companies moving towards and the new models. That's going to be just an introductory presentation, as I know many people are wondering where the future of agility and organizations are going. What do we need to know? What's the basics? And if we know already of the future of organizations and agile, what it involves. And this is one of the very important things. I just wanted first to double check that you can hear me properly, and also that you are at the moment seeing me well. I think for some reason I cannot put the camera, but at least you can see the presentation that we have here. And this is one of the things, or important thing, that I wanted just to show you. Well, this is today we're going to be talking about the 3 value companies, but let me go for a quick introduction here. So if we take a look at the market in the last few years, we can see that the number of data coming from them and artificial intelligence has been increasing. So markets have been accelerating, and this is the first thing we need to understand when we are talking about markets. So if we take a look at the right hand side, the chart, you will see that the amount of data coming from the markets is increasing 30% every year, which means that when we are talking about information coming, if information is also increasing, it means that the number of things that are in those markets are also increasing. And on the right hand side, you can see this is a chart with, you can see the yellow line. It means all the different areas that will be impacted by market acceleration. What we mean by market acceleration? Well, the first thing we need to understand, it is that when we are in a situation where something is happening, then the number of market disruptions, the number of situations, and also the number of things happening is increasing. So before, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 years ago, in your company, maybe in 1 month, you have one or two external situation impacting your company happening. And maybe now we have 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. So the number of what we call market disruption is increasing, and is increasing exponentially. So if you pay attention to also your life, is something you can see so many things are happening, more things that before are happening. And then we need to understand here that if more things are happening, how we deal with that. If you take a look at, for example, let's take a look at GPT-3 chat. And GPT-3 chat, it was launched approximately 2 or 3 months ago, and today in the market we have around 15 to 20 companies which provide similar services. They have similar artificial intelligence, and they provide similar things. This means that markets are really accelerating. Things are increasing, the number of disruptions are increasing, and the first question is how we can deal with that. And one of the things that I wanted to show you, or at least to try to understand where we are in terms of frameworks, in terms of models, etc., it is that we used to have, or many people use what we call agile or classic agility. Now, classic agility, you already know, you are expert here, and you know that classic agility is coming from 2001. Now, if we pay attention to classic agility, even though great ideas, great foundations, we have these principles, and we also have values, but the situation obviously in 2001 was completely different. Also, if you take a look at the demography, so how companies are constructed are completely different than this initial group. So this initial group of agile, or this initial group of people, who formalized agility, it was completely different than organizations are nowadays. So if you pay a look at this, a group, they were all male, just coming from 2 countries, and also coming from IT or software. Now, obviously, organizations today are completely different. We have diversity, neurodiversity. We have people coming from all different paths in life. So at some point, some other group of individuals try to expand it into what we call business agility. And business agility, they created certain foundations and certain practices, etc. They started around 2012, and that try to scale those ideas to the rest of the organization. But you need to understand that when you scale something, you scale the good things and you scale the things that are not that good. And if you scale ideas from software, many times you need to adapt it to the rest of the organization. Now, obviously, when we are talking about new organizations and when we are talking about accelerated market and exponential change, not classic agility or business agility were prepared for that, or is in these concepts. So this is where enterprise agility started growing, started increasing, and enterprise agility considers several things, but it is not coming from classic agility or business agility. So enterprise agility is in reality an revolution, not an evolution from what we have seen. And in here we have to consider that the pace of the market has increased, and many of those frameworks that we generally use, let's imagine that we have, for example, we have Scrum or Safe, which they are great, but unless you start changing several things there, frameworks do not work very well. Let me give you an example. If the market change every day or change every week, some of the things we generally do in Scrum are retrospectives. Now, we have to consider here that retrospectives work very well when you do retrospectives once a week or once every few days, but you cannot do retrospectives every hour, because obviously imagine that market changed or you cannot do retrospective every day at the end of the day because it's going to impact on people. So there are several practices that they work well, but when market accelerates, things start not going very well. And the accelerations means that you will be impacted by several things at the same time, more and more and more and more. Now, companies are gonna, with artificial intelligence, they're gonna place more things in the market. They're gonna be somehow pushing the things in the market and trying to do that more and more and more. So let me just double check with you how much time I do have. So I try to see what things I show you here and try to show you how acceleration in market is impacting people. So what we know already, it is that companies need different foundations. And let me start showing you something here so you understand also how this one works, how enterprise agility is. And I will just move forward. Just give me 1 second. And one of the things we need to understand here is what's the composition of enterprise agility. So when we're talking about enterprise agility, I will have around 8 minutes. I will try to explain to you one of the crucial framework for enterprise agility. And so enterprise agility means first we have the science of accelerated change, so how we can deal with constant changes. On the other side, we have models for sensing the market, and this is crucial because if we need to sense markets that are changing all the time, or what we call exponential market, the market sensing or how we perceive those markets is different. And also, we do have new practices to build or empower organizations. And I will show you today, in the coming 7 minutes, I will show you a little bit more of what I'm talking about, and I will show you something called the 3 value companies. 3 value companies is a different way of seeing organizations, and I will show you also or try to explain the difference between uni-value companies and 3 value companies. So when we have traditional organizations focus on revenue, which is on the left-hand side. Now, obviously, traditional organizations work well in linear market where things are not changing all the time. In traditional organizations, we generally focus on revenue and try to make money and try to optimize this, etc. So around 15, 20 years ago, we have here what we call agile companies, or even things coming from business agility, where we try to focus on the client. Now, focusing on the client is great, and at the same time it shows us that there has been something different we can focus apart from what traditional organizations do, which is about money. And this is called uni-value companies. They focus either on the client or they focus on the revenue. Now, all the models here can regularly respond in the market, but in enterprise agility we are looking for companies which one can always put something in the market with low levels of stress in people, low levels of impact on those people, and companies can work very well. So we need to move to a different structure of organization, which is called 3 value companies, which is part of the foundations of enterprise agility. Now, 3 value companies basically work well when markets are accelerated, and then agile and business agility can deal, but when markets go faster and faster, they cannot deal very well. Now, enterprise agility means that you are able to recreate your company at any point, which means that you can change your strategy, you can go in any direction, and people are going to follow you. And we need to be able to recreate, for example, if we are selling some product and the market does not need that product anymore, then we need to change the strategy. We need to recreate the whole company. And at the same time, we need to be able to create market disruption, disrupt the market all the time. And this is crucial. If we are not able to disrupt the market, someone is going to disrupt the market by us. And this is something I mentioned before. We used to have ChatGPT 3 2 or 3 months ago, and now we do have already 15 companies offering similar models. Now, recreating and disrupting markets is a crucial part of living in a market which is going to be changing all the time. And in this model, we do not, and this is why we call it 3 value companies. We have 3 types of value. Instead of focusing on the client or focusing on revenue, we focus on client value. Yeah, we do that. But we also focus on 2 other types of value, which is company value and workforce well-being value. So workforce well-being value means that I need to have a specific type of value in the company, which is related to the well-being of my employees. If I don't focus on the well-being constantly, on the well-being of the employees, when we are exposed to constant changes, then the people inside the company is going to start fighting for resources or for anything in the company. Imagine that situation start changing every day, and then suddenly one of the teams need a UX, for example, and then another team needs a UX, and then they start fighting inside the company because they need to achieve this objective. So what happened here is that you need to, in companies exposed to constant changes, you need to have workforce well-being value, which is you need to make sure people are happy in the organizations and how people connect is good. And then we have company value. In company value, we have different dimensions, and also you can download, this is a free book, you can download the book here, and then just try to, we are talking about 3 value companies. We are moving from regularly responding, putting something in the market every a few days or weeks, to always companies that are always ready, always responsive, and always innovative. And this is crucial because enterprise agility is moving from uni-value companies on the left-hand side, where I focus on revenue or focus on the client, to 3 value companies where we have client value, workforce well-being value, and company value. And all the 3 values, we need to invest money, we need to make sure that we focus on them, we provide foundations, etc. We can find more information in the community. Also, you can download the book, which explains what that 3 value company is. As I mentioned before, and I have just the last minute, models are different in enterprise agility, how we see the organizations. In fact, there is a model called collective capabilities, which is the future of organizations. Generally, in agile or business agility, we use teams or value streams, but there is a new way of structuring companies, collective capabilities, which is a different approach. So I hope that with this conversation, I try to quickly explain what enterprise agility is. Just one of the 40 models we got. You can download the book, the small book here on the right hand side, by scanning the barcode. And if you have any questions, you can meet me at any point, or just contact Satish. You can also contact the community, the enterprise agility community, where we are happy to answer any of the questions. So Satish, I just pass it to you. If you had any question, I'm always glad to talk to you, to try to explain what exponential markets are, also how we can deal with this new reality that everything is going to be changing more and more and faster here. So this is everything I have to tell you today. I just moved to you. So you can also contact me on LinkedIn. I will be happy. We are always releasing new information. Every week we have a new release on the newsletter with the neuroscience of change, where we talk to you about the science behind accelerated change, what exponential markets are, and how to move from agile or business agility to enterprise agility and the new models. All right, so this is time to pass it to you. If you had any question, I'll be happy to answer. Otherwise, we go ahead. I hope you have a good day today. It has been a pleasure to see you. I'm currently now in Mexico, as I was coming for a charity event I was doing over here. And I hope you have a great day, folks. And thank you for having me. And I hope you contact me, add me on LinkedIn, and then we can stay in touch. Thank you, folks, and I'll hope to see you soon.
Thanks a lot, Erich, for your nice session.
Thanks, Eric, for the wonderful keynote.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think we have 4 minutes for Q&A, right, Satish?
Yes, Sharat. Folks, if you have any questions, you can use the Q&A panel and you can start asking questions.
Yes, you can go ahead.
There is no sign up for
happy.
new members to join the Agility University. Swapna, I will let you know. The folks, we can enroll for the Agility University. It's a free the registration. There is no charges or anything. If you are unable to register, let me know. We will cross check and we will provide the link.
Yes, and you can join the Enterprise Agility World community that we are trying to provide to all the Agile groups, also support them, as also Satish is part of that initiative, global initiative, and we're trying to also provide support in the area of enterprise agility, support existing Agile groups, and try to make sure that people understand. Now, what basis organizations decide to be enterprise agility or business agility? The number of disruptions. So this is a crucial question. If you are in a market where you have been disrupted or you are constantly disrupted, you try to make sure that you test different ways. Remember that when we're talking about enterprise agility, you might also have business agility, existing frameworks, etc. So make sure that we don't stop using agile ideas or business agility ideas. We try to evolve these. So you might be using several things at the same time in the organization. And then what enterprise agility does, it adds additional models for dealing with accelerated market exponential change and trying to keep sustainable innovation even if you are disrupted.
Yeah, thanks, Erich.
That's a good
Thank you.
answer. Thanks for covering that.
Thanks.
Yeah, Sharad, you can cover now on the overview.
Eric, and folks, I provided the link to enroll.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And thanks so much, Erich, for a wonderful session. Glad to be, see you here.
Thank you, folks.